up on Fulton today, a major safety project is finished at the Rice Street Jail. We'll tell you what that means for the county and the community, and what you need to know to have your house and your car ready for the next emergency. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. The Fulton County Sheriff says after months of contractors completing security enhancements at the Fulton County Jail, the jail and the nearby community story.
Shania, nearly 1,500 cell locks at the jail have been replaced, and it's been a long process. We've been following the project since the first lock was installed. About 40,000 people are processed into the Fulton County Jail each year. And it's the sheriff's responsibility to provide safety for these inmates as they await trial and serve out their sentence. But because of antiquated locks, inmates were frequently popping out of their cells. Last year, more than 46 incidents of inmates getting out of their cells were reported. That safety threat has been eliminated with the installation of new cell locks.
The lock install that occurred here at the Fulton County Jail took almost a year. We started back in August of 2013, and it involved removing all of the old locks that were in the inmate housing areas, one pod at a time, and then replacing them with the new upgraded lock sets and enclosures that were purchased. We had to move inmates out of those housing units, and some of those inmates had to be relocated to outsourced locations in DeKalb, Cobb, and Douglas counties. And then we just moved from pod to pod until we completed the process here in the early part of July of 2014.
When the jail was constructed in the mid-'80s, it was a minimum security facility. The locks were less problematic, less tamper-resistant, and the inmates less technically savvy.
You could pop the lock with the core of a toilet tissue roll or several sheets of notebook paper. It was very simple to pop the lock. It was all about the power of popping the lock. Whoever could get out of the cell could basically terrorize other cellmates.
The new locks provide more security for jail staff and inmates.
You can't wiggle these out. You can't jimmy these and get in there. They have to pop them from up top. So it's a little bit safer for the inmate.
The new locks have a motorized lock. The motor's out and motor's back in, so that provides more security.
Colonel Mark Adger says the project was completed on time and under budget. The jail has been under federal oversight since 2006, following a lawsuit over dangerous and overcrowded conditions. Colonel Adger says the new lock system will help answer part of that problem.
The locks here at the Fulton County Jail are no longer a consent item issue that has to be continuously monitored. So that reduces what we have to show to the federal courts that we're ready to be released from supervision.
Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
All right, thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, Superior Court is expanding its legal services. The court is joining forces with the Georgia Hispanic Bar Association and the John Marshall Law School to provide free legal services to low-income families. It's all a part of the new Family Law Clinic.
Individuals who may have domestic matters are going to be eligible to use these services. We have a great partnership with John Marshall Law School, where we are able to take externs, which are third-year law students, and they're going to be assisting individuals who need assistance with completing pleadings, filings, paperwork that is necessary for the court in order to hear their cases.
The clinic will help address the legal needs of the community while also providing invaluable legal experience to Atlanta's John Marshall Law School students. The legal clinic is open every Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 to 2 at the Family Law Information Center. That's at 185 Central Avenue. So just how prepared are you for the next emergency? Well, September is National Preparedness Month, and the Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency wants county residents to be prepared in their homes and on the road. FGTV's Felicia Church has our story.
It's hard to forget the images of the storm named Leon here in the metro area back in February. Residents were stuck in their homes, school children were stranded on buses, and motorists were stuck on the streets and highways trying to get home. The Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency Director, Matthew Kallmeyer, recommends all residents have a plan in your home and on the road in case we're hit with another storm or emergency. First thing Kallmeyer says is make sure your car is in good working condition, your brakes and tires are in good shape, and that you have plenty of gas in your tank and a survival kit in your trunk.
Well, these are just some of the things that we would suggest you to consider when you actually have your kit. As you can see, starting on this side of the car, we have some water. Some important things to make sure you have is about 72 hours worth of water and food. You never know how long you may be stuck in that vehicle. And the important thing about when you pick your food, make sure you get something that has a pull tab on the top. The worst thing to do is to have a can that you can't get into because you don't have a can opener in your car.
That survival kit should also include blankets, necessary medication, and a few other emergency items in case you get stuck again.
Always have some good flashlights, especially something that you can go ahead and use for identifying hazards. Make sure that if you can, get something you can either hand crank or you actually can take some solar power to power. If not, light sticks are a great thing, last a long time. You can crack them, they'll go ahead and last for about 8 hours depending upon the model that you purchase. One thing that you cannot be without, folks, is a good cell phone charger for your phone.
You can stay informed about possible weather threats by registering for Code Red emergency alerts, and a battery-operated NOAA weather radio in your home can also help keep you informed. If you need more information about emergency preparedness, go to the Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management website at www.afcema.com. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you very much. Future leaders of the county learn about their rights, the law, and the consequences of their actions. These students are the newest members of the Fulton County Youth Commissioners. They took part in a crime and safety summit in North Fulton.
The Fulton County Youth Commission serves as a voice for youth throughout Fulton County, and our youth commissioners are those spokespersons. They go within their communities, within their schools, they identify the issues, and in turn bring back solutions to the Board of Commissioners on how to best combat those issues.
These students have developed a handbook called A Passport to Your Legal Rights. The book highlights Georgia law that many young people between the ages of 13 to 18 fall victim to.
That's the primary purpose of the book, is to give them the tips first and foremost, but ensure that they're aware of the consequences for breaking those crimes, but understand how to interact with officers, what's illegal, what's legal, what your rights are, what you, many people assume that they have the right to speak back to an officer, but it is a form of disorderly conduct. So we educate them on the various laws that apply to them when interacting with officers, but when also being active in rallies and things of that nature.
Now open to youth in grades 8 through 11, these youth commissioner programs help students develop leadership skills and facilitate positive change. You can contact Reginald Crosley to get more information. Another youth program that builds strong young girls is looking for volunteers. Tutors in math, science, and reading are needed for the members of the Youth Leadership Academy for Girls entering the 3rd grade. Tutors and mentors are also needed for members of Priceless University. Open to middle and high school females, Priceless University focuses on college preps and career development. Now, if you'd like to help in the development of these young women, call 404-613-7944. And still to come, a new library opens in South Fulton. We'll take a look in this week's District by District coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
County residents can speak one-on-one with the Fulton chairman, and another new library is open for business. Here's this week's District by District coverage. In District 1, Chairman John Eves schedules a series of town hall forums to hear directly from county residents. The at-large commissioner calls the meetings the community conversations with the chairman. The first one will be held next week, Tuesday, September 23rd, at the Roswell Library branch on Norcross Street. The meeting in South Fulton will be held next month on October 14th at the new Wolf Creek Library branch on Enon Road. Both meetings will begin at 6:30.
We want to hear what the concerns are from people, but just as importantly, what are some things that we can do better? We want to provide the best service possible to the million-plus residents of our wonderful county. So to me, the first step is to listen. And so I'm here to listen. I'm planning to take some action, but more importantly, I'm willing to listen.
You can contact the chairman's office directly to get more information about the meetings. In District 3, Fulton commissioners agreed to donate the old Alpharetta Branch Library to the city of Alpharetta. The building, located at 238 Canton Street, will no longer be used as a library once the new branch is complete. District 3 Commissioner Liz Hausman sponsored the resolution to donate the facility, along with Chairman John Eves and Commissioner Tom Lowe. Alpharetta's mayor made a personal plea to the board for the old library.
We respectfully request that the stewardship of the current library site be entrusted to the city of Alpharetta.
The resolution expressed the county's intent to donate the library to the city of Alpharetta. The board will consider donating the property as well once the facility is no longer in use. In District 5, women and men who've served their country are shown special medical attention. The service members took part in a veterans health fair at the Adamsville Health Center. Medical professionals provided health information and performed various screenings. The veterans in attendance really appreciated the one-stop shop service.
I think it's a great occasion, man. There's no other honor that I think that can, they can do for the vets.
We want to continue to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk by having quality health services, primary care, jobs, and housing services to veterans and their families in this neighborhood where they live.
The Adamsville Health Center is a one-stop shop for a variety of county services every week. The facility is located on Martin Luther King Drive in Southwest Atlanta. And finally, in District 7, the South Fulton community is welcome to their brand new library branch. County leaders and citizens celebrated the grand opening of the Wolf Creek Library on Enon Road. The branch is an internal and external architectural wonder, complete with artwork and various program offerings.
I think the most important thing about this library, again, is the community that it serves. The community in the Wolf Creek area and the residents and voters in Fulton County who back in 2008 approved a bond referendum that resulted in this beautiful library being built.
The uniqueness about this library is the fact that it is nestled in a wooded area. It's tranquil and it's serene. The back of the library is totally glass. So you'll be able to look into the woods and look at the birds and the wild turkeys we have that are part of the environment in this area.
It's beautiful, it's big, it's clean, it's open, the grounds are beautiful. I love that they have an enclosed room for the reading time.
The Wolf Creek branch is located at 3100 Enon Road off of Camp Creek Parkway in South Fulton, next door to the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. And still to come, what's behind the drop in teen pregnancy rates? We'll tell you when we come back.
You're watching Fulton Today.
New information from health agencies shows the teen pregnancy rate is continuing to drop. Deborah DeWitt is the Health and Wellness Nursing Supervisor, and she joins us now to try to explain just why this is. Welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So the rate apparently has fallen all across the country. What about Fulton County?
The teen pregnancy rate is also decreasing in Fulton County. In some areas, the teen pregnancy rate has decreased as much as 25% in Fulton County.
And what do parents need to know when they're talking to their teen about teen pregnancy?
One thing parents need to do when talking to their teens as it pertains to teen pregnancy is that you need to make sure that you're providing them with factual information. Inform them that some people may say you can't get pregnant the first time you have sex, which is not true. Let them know they can get pregnant the first time they have sex. Some teens may say everybody's doing it except me. That's not true. More and more teens have chosen to become abstinent rather than have sex at such an early age. And some teens just feel like pregnancy is something that won't happen to them. Anyone who has sex can become pregnant. And when you're talking to your teens, please explain to them that the only 100% sure way of not becoming pregnant is to not have sex.
And Deborah, what kind of county services are available for teens and this particular issue?
Some of the services that are available for teenagers within our health centers include education and counseling that are provided by physicians, nurse practitioners, and our educators. We also offer complete examinations. Those teens who desire contraceptives are available to teenagers in a confidential manner. One of the services that we are excited about offering to teens at this time is called Nexplanon, which is a long-term birth control method which actually lasts for a period of 3 years. That way teens can focus on either graduating from high school or graduating for college, wherever they are in their career.
And you know, we'd like to get your final thoughts.
My final thoughts are when we're talking to our teens as it pertains to sex, specifically to starting to have sex, or even if they've already started to have sex, we want to make sure that they're taking a method, a birth control method, in which will allow them to either finish high school if they're in high school or finish college. We're looking into we are offering methods which are considered long-term acting reversible contraceptives, in which these different type of methods last 3 years, and we have some that last as long as 7 years. And that way the teen don't have to focus on whether or not they're becoming pregnant. If they are sexually active, they can focus on getting out of high school, or they can focus on finishing college, knowing that they will not become pregnant with some of the long-term methods that we have available for teens.
Deborah DeWitt, always great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks again for having me.
Well, according to the CDC, about 50% of children have experienced tooth decay by the time they are 11 years old. The startling statistic on poor oral health is part of the reason that Delta Dental sponsored Dental Health Storytime at Perry Home Library.
We are presenting them with this book that encourages the kids to brush and floss because that's something that they forget sometimes. And the story it's in Spanish and English because this is a bilingual initiative. So it's just that. I mean, that and toothbrushes and some other things to encourage the good habits.
The Tooth Fairy used the fun presentation to highlight the serious issue of good oral health. The CDC also says that 28% of children ages 2 to 5 have experienced tooth decay in their primary teeth. Yes, their baby teeth. Fulton County invites the public to help save lives by donating blood. The Government Center in downtown Atlanta will be the venue once again for the mass blood drive for the American Red Cross. Fulton employees donate blood several times a year at various county facilities. Just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives.
Our goal is to collect about 88 pints, but hopefully we can exceed that number because we have machines that could collect twice as much.
The next blood drive is Thursday, September 25th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the first floor of the Government Center. Visit redcrossblood.org and enter FCG to schedule your appointment. And still to come on Fulton Today, how to gain free access to books, music, and lots of information. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
If you don't have one already, now might be a good time to get a library card or renew your existing one. September is Library Card Sign-Up Month. The card gives you access to activities, classes, and programs that cover the spectrum from cultural to educational to just plain old fun.
Can you hand that to me? I can't reach it. Thanks. Can you hand it to me? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You can check out books, of course, but also books on tape, movies, music CDs, and many of the library's databases like Ancestry.com. Best of all, your library card is free, and the process is easy.
They just have to bring in something with the current Fulton County address on it and show their ID, fill out the application. It usually takes only 5 minutes, and the cards are good for 2 years.
500,000 of your neighbors are already library card holders. Visit afpls.org for more information. And finally, the Wolf Creek Amphitheater winds down another successful season of music and fun. Nearly 70,000 music fans packed the South Fulton venue this year to hear everything from jazz to funk. The season kicked off with the Minnesota concert featuring Jeffrey Osborne, Peebo Bryson, and Freddie Jackson. In between, there was a little old school favorites. Something for every music fan.
The season has been amazing. We have enjoyed 9 sold-out concerts this summer, featuring Grammy Award artists from the R&B, blues, reggae, and jazz genres. And we're not done yet. We still have 4 concerts still to go for the 2014 concert season.
And you can visit wolfcreekamphitheater.com to see the remaining lineups. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs here on FGTV. Email us at fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, find us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.